Think of a time when you have personally known someone who was or has been a victim to drinking and driving. Many of times we wonder, why did it have to be our loved one? Why couldn't it be the other person? And no, that's not the right way to think. But we've all done it at some point in our lives. The inevitable truth is, people are going to have fun. But then they take it too far by drinking and driving. And without realizing, they're putting many other lives at risk of death or worse. This is then where designated drivers come to play. In a 2015 article titled, "Drunk Driving Can Be Stopped" by DJ Hansen states that designated drivers have probably saved nearly 50,000 lives and spared many more thousand lives from suffering from injury from drunk driving. So why would you not want to be considered a designated driver? They take the problem at hand and give it a solution. As we all know, drinking and driving has been a problem for many years and has always had its consequences, whether that be because of getting pulled over or worse, death. More often than not, drunk drivers go out without having a plan of what they're going to do next or how they're going to get home. So they drive drunk. This leads to drinking and driving. And then they get pulled over. No one likes getting pulled over, whatever the case may be. But when driving under the influence, drunk drivers can't control how they drive. The police are then obligated to pull them over. They are then arrested and have gotten a DUI. The second and most major ending of drinking and driving is injury or death. Remember when I told you to remember a time that someone you knew was killed in a car accident because of drunk drivers? Think of that again. It's devastating, but for some reason, it still happens. Drinking and driving has its consequences, and they aren't always the best ending. But guess what? You can make a difference. Drunk drivers are everywhere. I know that, and you know that. But what if there is a way to decrease the number of people driving drunk? Well, the first would be to create a moving public service announcement, or a PSA. There has been a PSA for almost every life-altering threat, such as bullying, texting and driving, suicide awareness, abuse, which could be verbal or sexual, and even health diseases. In many cases, PSAs have major influences on the way people live. For example, in a 2012 article titled "Reinforcement or Reactance," examining the effort of the explicit persuasive appeal following an entertainment education narrative, written by Emily Moyer-Gousset, Parul Jain, and Adrian H. Chang, states, one study looked at exposure to a Spanish-speaking telenovela about breast cancer that aired in combination with a PSA. The study revealed a significant increase in calls to breast cancer hotlines following the broadcast, as well as greater knowledge about mammograms among viewers as compared with non-viewers. Since there was such a reaction for the breast cancer PSA, the thought would be that a drinking and driving PSA would have an equivalent reaction. So, by doing a PSA for drinking and driving, this gives the idea of designated drivers. With a designated driver, many people feel safer when driving. As stated in Hansen's article, "Drunk Driving Can Be Stopped," each year over 73 million Americans either serve as a designated driver or are driven home by one. Be a designated driver. Be the change of this movement and keep others safe. Don't think that just because you are a designated driver that you can't have fun. There are many benefits to being a designated driver. The most important benefit is that you are reported by many and respected by more. And you are considered to be a hero. Another benefit is you could get paid. On the website designateddrivers.net, in an article called Designated Driver Tips and Best Practices, it says, even if there is a charge associated with services, it will be a small price to pay compared to the risk of drunk driving. Meaning that if there is anyone that plans to drink, let them know you are in business as a designated driver. Just because you can't drink doesn't mean you can't have fun, though. So in the article titled, Drunk Driving Can Be Stopped, it states that many establishments have provided free non-alcoholic beverages to designated drivers. This is a good thing because it gives you a chance to have fun and stay sober. Designated drivers are a huge help to those around. They make those around feel safer. According to the article, drunk driving can be stopped by Hansen. A designated driver helps families and friends avoid embarrassment, keep their licenses, avoid fines, stay out of jail, and prevent senseless injuries and death. Being a designated driver is beneficial to everyone, including you, and it gives you a respectable name. Overall, you would be the reason many families don't have to say goodbye to their loved ones and go through those sad and tough times. People would always remember that you are the hero of their town. So take that chance and become someone's designated driver. Thank you for listening.